Dear friends, welcome all to this Interfaith Prayer and Discussion. This is meeting number 183. The purpose of this meeting is to foster the devotional character of our society and to bring understanding among different religions and followers of different religions, the common foundation of all the religions, thereby try to remove the religious prejudice, which is one of the serious challenges the humanity is facing and has been the cause for many wars and hostilities. As a group, we collectively try to understand this oneness of religions and share these thoughts among our friends and families and neighbors. Today, as usual, we arranged a speaker. Unfortunately, he is not available. So after the devotional part, Colin is going to share a poem, and I will share some thoughts about the role of enkindled souls today. So now we will honor the indigenous people and land, and Colin has kindly accepted to do that. I welcome Colin.
I'd just like to acknowledge that Jung and I live on the land which was cared for up to 60,000 years by the Gadigal and Bidjigal people, and I'm currently on Paramank land in the Adelaide Hills. And people wonder, it's been 200 years, what connection could there be with the land now? Why does it really matter? We've got civilization now. But if you think about it, things move slowly, and it took 200 years before the Australian courts recognised that the Aboriginal people even existed. 200, I mean, they obviously existed, but it took 200 years for the courts to recognise that. And only 20 years ago, the courts recognised that they do have a connection to the land, an ongoing connection. But more than that, we're starting to realise that the Indigenous people have things which our so-called civilization needs. And I'm talking about a spiritual outlook, non-materialistic outlook, putting sharing and other people and society before the self. And of course, their care for the environment. And what I think is perhaps most important, and what we're trying to learn in this group, is listening. It's a culture where they're quite happy to sit with spaces between people talking and just listen. So I just want to acknowledge that I think we've got a lot to learn, and we've got a lot to be thankful for the Indigenous people.
Attention, all parents of students year 9 to 12 who want their child to get an ATAR above 90. Come join us for a free ATAR.
Unite and bind together the hearts. Unite and bind together the hearts. Join in the chord all the souls. Join in the chord all the souls. Oh Lord, make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness. Unite and bind together the heart. Unite and bind together the heart. Join in the chord all the souls. Join in the chord all the souls. Oh Lord, make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness. Unite and bind together the hearts. Unite and bind together the hearts. Join the chord all the souls. Join in the chord all the souls. Oh Lord, make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness. Unite and bind together the hearts. Unite and bind together the heart. Join the chord all the souls. Join in the chord all the souls. Oh Lord, make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness.
O thou kind Lord, O thou art generous and merciful, we are the servants of thy threshold, and are gathered beneath the sheltering shadow of thy divine unity. The sun of mercy is shining upon all, and the clouds of thy bounty shower upon all. Thy gifts encompass all, thy loving providence sustains all. Thy protection overshadows all, and the glances of thy favor are cast upon all. O Lord, grant thine infinite bestowals, and let the light of thy guidance shine. Illumine the eyes, gladden the hearts with abiding joy. Confer a new spirit upon all people, and bestow upon them eternal life. Unlock the gates of true understanding, and let the light of faith shine resplendent. Gather all people beneath the shadow of thy bounty, and cause them to unite in harmony, so that they may become as the rays of one sun, as the waves of one ocean, and as the fruit of one tree. May they drink from the same fountain. May they be refreshed by the same breeze. May they receive illumination from the same source of light. Thou art the giver, the merciful, the omnipotent. Abdul Baha.
Let's pray. When once a man can see that all the diversity of contingent being abide in one alone, and from that alone they radiate, then to Brahma he attains. Bhagavad Gita. Behold, how good and pleasant it is when the brother dwell in unity. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that transcends upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commands the blessing, even life for everyone. Old Testament Paslam. You have heard that it had been said, thou shalt love thy neighbors and hate thine enemies. But I say unto thee, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father, which is in heaven, for he makes the sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and the unjust. New Testament, Matthew 43 to 48. The purpose for which mortal men have from utter nothingness stepped into the realms of being is that they may work for the betterment of the world and live together in concord and harmony. Baha'u'llah.
And hold fast all together by the rope which God stretches out for you, and be not divided among yourselves, and remember with gratitude God's favour on you. For you were enemies, and he joined your hearts in love, so that by his grace you became brethren. and ye were on the brink of the pit of fire, and he saved you from it. Thus doth God make his signs clear to you, that ye may be guided. Be not like those who are divided among themselves, and fall into disputations after receiving clear signs. Holy Quran.
Be united, speak in harmony, let our minds apprehend alike. Come and be your prayer, come and be the end of your assembly, come and be your resolution, come and be your deliberations. Alike be your feelings, unified be your hearts, come and be your intentions, perfect be your unity. Hinduism, Rig Veda.
It is incumbent upon every man in this day to hold fast unto whatsoever will promote the interests and exalt the station of all nations and just governments. Through each and every one of the verses which the pen of the Most High hath revealed, the doors of love and unity have been unlocked and flung open to the face of men. We have a while declared, and our word is the truth. Consort with the followers of all religions in a spirit of friendliness and fellowship. Whatsoever hath led the children of men to shun one another, and hath caused dissensions and divisions amongst them, hath, through the revelation of these words, been nullified and abolished. From the heaven of God's will, and for the purpose of ennobling the world of being, and of elevating the minds and souls of men, have been sent down that which is the most effective instrument for the education of the whole human race. Of old it hath been revealed, love of one's country is an element of the faith of God. The tongue of grandeur hath, however, in the day of his manifestation proclaimed, it is not his to boast who loveth his country, but it is his who loveth the world. Baha'u'llah. The Pina.
I think Pina's 8, Sivalingam 6.
Oh, Shiva. Oh, Vasanta, can you read?
The purpose of one true God, exalted be his glory, in revealing himself unto men, is to lay bare those gems that lie hidden within the mind of their true and inmost selves, that the diverse communions of the earth and the manifold systems of religions belief should never be allowed to foster the feeling of animosity among men. Is in this day of the essence of the faith of God and his religion. These principles and laws, these firmly established and mighty system have proceeded from one source and are the rays of one light. That they differ one from another is to be attributed to the varying requirements of the ages in which they were promulgated.
This is from the Hidden Words, Arabic. O children of men, know ye not what we created you, all from the same dust, that no one should exalt himself over the other. Ponder at all times in your heart how ye were created. Since we have created you all from the one same dust, it is incumbent on you to be even as one soul, to walk with the same feet, eat with the same mouth, dwell in the same land, and that your innermost being, by your deeds and action, and the signs of oneness and essence of detachment may be made manifest. Such is my counsel to you, O concourse of light. Heed ye this counsel, that ye may obtain the fruits of holiness from the tree of wondrous glory. Baha'u'llah. Hidden words.
We work and pray for the unity of mankind, that all the races of the earth may become one race, all the countries one country, and that all hearts may beat as one heart, working together for perfect unity and brotherhood. Praise be to God that our efforts are sincere and that our hearts are turned to the kingdom. Our greatest longing is that the truth may be established in the world. And in this hope, we draw near to one another in love and affection. Each and all are wholehearted and selfless, willing to sacrifice all personal ambition to the grand ideal towards which they strive. Brotherly love and peace and union amongst men. Abdul Baha.
We desperately need understanding of the human condition.
The sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world. Why don't we drink it? I see a man dying, crawling through the desert, struggling to survive. He was praying to God to deliver him from his thirst and begging not to die. The sweetest water in the world, sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world, sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world. Why don't we drink it? I see the world crying, drowning in a sea of dust, needing love to quench its thirst, searching for answers, searching to understand. Yet things are getting worse. We're looking for the sweetest water in the world, sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world. sweetest water in the world. Why don't we drink it? I see the blessed beauty standing with outstretched arms, a look of love in his eyes, and flowing from his hands like crystal mountain springs, the pure water of life. He's got the sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world. Why don't we drink it? Why don't we drink it? The sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world. Why don't we drink it? The sweetest water in the world, sweetest water in the world.
You're muted, Siva.
Thank you all, my friends, for this lovely reading. And I made a plea in the last minute that our speaker is not available, and requesting any friends can share some thoughts related to unity for 5 to 10 minutes. And Rehani from Russia, who has been in our forum a couple of times, and she gave presentation. She responded, and she is here now, and she would like to talk about 7 kinds of unity. And Colin, our strong supporter of this Interfaith Forum, he will share a poem and a few words about it. James Forrester has joined. Do you want to share anything, James?
Look, I've been struggling to try and get to your meetings on Thursday night. I've finally made it. I usually have problems with Zoom.
Okay.
I just want to say hello and see how things go, Siva.
Okay, thank you very much. We will ask Rehani first, and then Colin, is that okay? And then after that, if there's time, that I will share something about the enkindles, or the role of the enkindled souls today.
Okay.
Rehani, you can show your face. Only half of your face is in.
This is me. This
Yes.
is me. Yeah. Yeah. Hi to everybody. I'm so glad that I'm again, thanks God, with you.
Still you are going down.
Down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
like
better.
this.
Yes.
Better. No, that's me. Okay. It's okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God I'm again together with you. And because it's just for 1 minute, I just understand that I can give this a small talk about this. But before to begin, I just want to share with you that it is my beloved theme in whole writings, Baha'i writings. And at first time I heard about this during my study in the Baha'i Academy in Panjgani, India. It was given lecture by Mr. Azadi. Yeah. And after this, it is my favorite talk anywhere and to anybody, because it really gives us inspiration to live in such a very, very severe world as you see around. Yeah. About seven you can see in the architect. You can find this information in architect. 7 valleys you can find by Baha'u'llah, his famous writing. Yeah. But today I will speak about the 7 kinds of unity. And before to approach to this theme, I just want to share that it was a letter which Abdul Baha wrote to one lady. The letter was begins with such words that "O Lady of God's love, we got letter from you before our living, and it gives us a joy. And we have hope that your inner view will get future vision, and you will find the inner meaning of divine mysteries." And then he continues that you said that you are Christian, and it is easy to name yourself Christian, but it is very difficult to be Christian in life, in common life. Then he wrote, today is approximately 5, at that time it was 500 million Christians. But of course, to find real Christians, the person who have joyful faith, who followed all the Christians' commandments, laws, it is really not so easy. And to be Christians, it's really to be a perfect, yeah, and to fulfill many virtues, Christian virtues, yeah. Then he wrote, I hope you will become a truly Christian lady. And then he wrote, please praise God that you have this divine teaching, that you got this spiritual vision and spiritual vision and spiritual future understanding, and you are very incredible in your face, in your face, yeah. And then he wrote that he has hope that other people to get from you this vision, these riches, and to be and will be very loyal, and to get this faith from you too. And then he wrote, oh, destiny lady, this lady, these commandments of divine teachings, let not you and anybody to make other people to feel them low, to feel them that they're bad. And then he wrote that the teacher must not have be but must not have, and not to be proud before in front of the pupils. Can you imagine how he said? Yeah, and he must say and behave with harmless, with a very big love, very big sincerity to the souls who are around him. And then again, he said some words to this lady, but I will not read all of this because I'm not reading, I'm translating, as you understand, because no time to get original writings. Yeah. And then he said that all the prophets come to this world with one purpose. Any prophets, Jesus Christ, Baha'u'llah, and all the others, you know all of them, I will not name them, that human world become God's world. And this low kingdom become divine kingdom. This darkness turn into light. This Satanian sins turns to divine virtues. For what purpose? For unity, for brotherhood and love. Become the all humanity destiny. For what? For eternal unity comes soul for fighting goes out, goes on, and all the humans get eternal life and prosperity fruits. And now I come to the seven unity. First, seven candles. I'm sorry. First candle is political unity. And he wrote that the signs of it already you can see. Second is unity in actions of all countries to solve problems. And you can see it as you see COVID time, can you imagine? Yeah, I'm just adding recent examples of these candles. Yeah. Third candle is that all nations, all humans gets rights and freedom, especially man and woman. Yeah, you know this principle of Baha'i faith, unity in the unity of man and woman. Fourth one is unity in religion, and he wrote that this it is the foundation of all the building, according to God's will, and it will be gives us in, and it comes, and it will be revealed to us in all its glory, in all its beauty. Yeah. Fifth candle is unity in all nations. And he wrote that it will be achieved in these centuries when we are living, yeah, in this century. Sixth candle is unity in races, in all humankind, in all humans. And it gives us that all the representatives of all nations and races will be as one. And you know this famous quotation by Baha'u'llah that Earth is one country and all humankind is all its citizens. And the last one, the seventh candle, is one language, unity and one language. And when it will be maybe chosen one language, or as Abdul Baha said, he recommended that it will be created one language, and all the people can communicate easy to each other using this one language. And this will be the force for all the changes in all this our earth. And it is the force of divine. This is the divine force for us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rehani, madam. I really appreciate that in the last moment that you came to rescue us with the 7.
Hello, yes. Huh? Why?
7 candles of unity. And she says that that is very dear to her heart. So briefly, if there is anyone to comment about these 7 candles of unity, you can raise your hand and please be brief. And we have Jung and then Colin. Please unmute.
Thank you, Miss Rehani ji.
Yeah.
Can I please just, there are 2 points I want to take. The first one, when Jesus started his job, his mission, he recruited 12 fishermen. So obviously, Jesus and the 12 fishermen form a group. So therefore, we had to say brotherhood or unity is, like the idea that you gave us, like brotherhood. But later on, each of them, Jesus said, go and teach people. So each of them had to go dispatch everywhere. Each of them carry a mission their own, and they do their own job. So that's one thing. The second thing is, if you say unity in one language, it means that you create less job for people. So it means that you don't need interpreter, you don't need translator, you don't need language professional. So therefore, less job for people. And people actually, they just, at the moment, as I understand, a lot of migrants or refugees come in, they have different language, mean they create riches in the language. It is good because they create job.
Okay, so
Thank you.
So what you are saying is that having one language is not a good idea. Is that right?
English is one language that they've been talking about for a long, long time, for ages. Because English, compared with French language and Russian language and Japanese language, as I've learned, English is the easiest one.
Okay, so okay,
so it's the
I got
easiest
your
one.
message. So, what if I understood you correctly? You are saying that having one common language is not good for the world because it will reduce the number of jobs. Okay, thank you for that comment. And now let's go to Colin.
Oh yeah, I was also, thank you, Rehani. That's I was going to comment also on that principle because the way the language principle will be applied is that we can keep all of our languages, but we just need one more language. Instead of 1,000 languages in the world, we have 1,001, and everyone knows the one, so we can talk to each other, but we want the diversity of all the other languages. And imagine if in every household people spoke different languages. We'd need an interpreter in every household, or in every classroom or workplace. We'd need interpreters everywhere. So it's good that groups can speak directly in the one language. And now that the world is becoming like a family, I think it's time to have one language. It sounds like a good principle to me.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, I put the in the chat something that
Yes, I saw it.
yeah, it says that Abdul Baha described 7 candles of unity in 1906. He said, each and every one of these will inevitably come to pass inasmuch as the power of the kingdom of God will aid and assist in their realization. Unity in the political realm, unity of thought in world undertakings, unity in freedom, unity in religion, unity of nations, unity of races, unity of language. And I found this on the Facebook. I don't know about its accuracy. I believe
No, it's right.
Yes.
It's right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Then now, my understanding is that this inevitably will come to pass for us to have this unity and peace in the world. But there is a role that everyone has to play so that this can happen. Unless we believe that this will come to pass, we will not start working for it. But there are a lot of convincing to be made whether they can all come to pass. Okay, and Jung, and then Sivalingam, and then we will go to the next presentation. Jung,
Yeah.
Jung, I thought, I don't know who was first. Jung, oh, Jung has
Yeah.
already.
Yes, I'm here.
I thought you. Okay, Siva.
I'm
Yeah.
just invisible.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what Baha'u'llah meant, we need one universal language is for communication. But that does not mean all the regional languages will be extinguished. They will still be there. The language will show the historical influence, how history traced themselves. And I think in future, everybody will have to do their own mother tongue and one common language. And these languages and all are, the small languages are all are disappearing. And it's the universities that will do an effort to preserve them, local languages. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And I think that is the case. Our understanding becomes clearer and clearer as we have discourses like this and becomes unified in our thought. And that is one of the candle of unity. It's the same thing when you say the unity in religion. It's not that the other religions are going to disappear and then there's only one religion. No. Those followers of all the religions will continue to follow, but they will understand that there is common thread in all the religions, and that is what actually unifies, and that is those spiritual principles are the most important thing. Okay, now let's go to Colin to share his poem and his thoughts.
Thank you, Siva. By the way, I thought I was glad to hear from James a little bit earlier. He talked about a very unifying theme, which is challenges with Zoom. Thank you. So my unifying theme is about you find it in every religion. Christianity, I think they call it Armageddon, but it's the battle between, well, it could be, some people think it's an external battle. I think it's internal battle between the soul and the insistent self. And it's the kind of battle you have during life, where the soul wants to soar in the spiritual skies, and our body or our material nature just wants to play with material things. And so which one's going to win? A lot depends on that. Now, this poet, Roger White, he writes about spiritual themes, but he does so in a very down-to-earth, light-hearted way. This particular poem's quite short. I discovered it recently, and each time I read it, I get a little bit more from it. Just share the screen. So before I do, this is what the court of a king might have looked like a few hundred years ago. And they would have a traveling minstrel. And these words appear in the poem: minstrel, wanderer, jongleur, and they all mean much the same thing. Itinerant, medieval, entertainer, proficient in juggling, acrobatics, music, and recitation. So I'll read the poem and just make a brief comment on why I like it. And yes, there are a few Old English words in it, so that maybe you can get the gist of it. By Roger White, of course, they kicked me out of the castle, but that's showbiz. The soul to the insistent self fierce courage doth display. Thus sang the minstrel to the court when bade to sing and play. Cease, jongleur, cried one stalwart knight, I've known a joust or two. Sing now a gallant battle song. Quoth he, I do, I do. The soul to the insistent self doth tenderness display. Thus sang once more the wanderer to all the court's dismay. Prithee desist, spake one maid, my heart is hung with rue. Wilt thou not sing of love betrayed? Quoth he, I do, I do. So, I mean, I probably have to read it a few times, but I like it because because it's about this battle. This minstrel is trying to talk about spiritual themes. The soul to the insistent self, fierce courage doth display. And this stalwart knight who's always fighting other people, that's a joust. He's, I've known a joust or two. Sing now a gallant battle song. He says, I am. That's what I'm singing. And then the soul to the insistent self doth tenderness display. And the whole court is saying, oh, no, not again. What is this about the soul? And one pale maid sings, my heart is hung with sadness. Why not sing of love betrayed? He says, I do, I do. So anyway, that poem speaks to me. The bit I didn't like until I realized what it's about is this. I thought, gee, for such a beautiful poem, why such a light-hearted topic? Of course they kicked me out of the castle, but that's showbiz. But then, show business. But that made me remember what Baha'u'llah said. When he was a young boy, he was taken to a puppet show. And this puppet show was all this drama and the king sending people out to battle and chopping someone's head off, all that kind of thing. And then after this, Baha'u'llah was just a young boy. He saw the puppeteer carrying this box. He said, what's in the box? And the puppeteer said, all those kings, all those knights, all those soldiers, everything, it's all in this box. And Baha'u'llah realized that the world is but a show, vain and empty. So I think that Roger White, or at least the minstrel, in the court of the king is a bit like being in this world where everything's just a show. And if you try to speak of spiritual things, you get kicked out of the castle.
So
All right. Thank you.
what's that? Yeah, there are many words that are very. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There are many words that are not commonly used these days.
I know. You have to prithee desist. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it
Yes,
means
so when it says "Peace, Jongleur cried one stalwart knight, I have known a just or two, sing now a gallant battle song." So they didn't like the song that he was singing, right?
Yeah, exactly. They didn't want something about the soul. What's that got to do with courage and battles?
All right. And then he says, "Prithee desist, spake one when may. My heart is hung with woe. Wilt thou not sing of love betrayed?" What's pretty?
Oh, prithee, that means I pray. Pray thee, it means I beg of thee. It means please stop. One spake, so this is what one pale maiden said.
So he say, "I do, I do."
Yeah. So I am singing of love betrayed, because the soul is not only battling this insistent self every day, but it's also and the insistent self is betraying the soul every time it insists on something bad. But the soul is very forgiving. It's betrayed by the insistent self, but anyway.
Oh, that's very. How old is this song, poem?
Well, Roger White passed away more than 10 years ago. I could find a date for it.
All right. Is he Australian?
No, I think he's Canadian.
All right.
Yeah, he started life as a dancer. I think he may have been he was in he was in a show. What was the show? Guys and Dolls, was it, or something like that? Anyway, I'm not 100% clear on his history, but became a poet, and he served the Baha'i faith at the World Centre as well.
Good. Thank you. Any comments, questions? Any experience with the insistent self? How challenging it is? Yes, Young.
Well, we talking what I'm saying, we talking a general ideas here. I mean, to be non-unity is not a bad thing. When people talk about unity and not unity, it depends on the context and the situation of the matter. So therefore, why we just insist to have a unity all the time when sometimes non-unity is not a bad thing? Because we just don't have to follow the crowd. When we see the crowd going, we follow them, but we have to see which way the best for us. I mean, for the unity, for not unity, which way the best. Like if the Titanic is sinking and a lot of group of people go to the north side, because unity, they'll pull each other to the north side, and then you follow them and you're gonna die. But if you go to the south, that's non-unity, but then you might be able to survive. So we don't really know, do we?
Yeah. I think having different ideas is, in one way, it is good, so that we can thrash out our ideas and to find whether they hold good, and find something that is much more certain, much more truth. but I think the word, maybe we use the word diversity. Yes, there is diversity, and diversity will exist, and it will continue to be there. But what we are trying to achieve is unity in diversity. Of course, people have different tastes for food and clothes, for music and dance. But the overall, I think the overall purpose of life for individual and humanity as a whole, there must be something which if we can try to find, then that goal probably takes us to unity. But how we get there individually, maybe the diversity. So yes, in one sense, diversity is good. Yes. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. I wanted to share this something about the role of enkindled souls. I want to share the screen first. Can you see the screen?
Yep.
Yeah. This is an excerpt from a letter written by the Universal House of Justice on 30th of December 2021. Universal House of Justice is the supreme administrative body of the Baha'i faith. And, and time to time, they guide us how we should progress as a community and interact with the wider society, and to instill in our minds the inherent oneness of humanity. And I found that this particular paragraph was very fascinating for me, and of course for many others. It goes on to say that the enkindled souls being raised up through the process of the plan are seeking to gain an ever more profound understanding of Baha'u'llah's teachings, the sovereign remedy for every disease. So first of all, people might think that these enkindled souls might refer to those who are followers of Baha'u'llah, but I tend to think that there are out in the society, there are many enkindled souls who have been touched by Baha'u'llah, by his words and things like that. They may be seeking to get better understanding, because we never fully understand the words of any manifestation of God, for that matter, whether it is Buddha or Krishna or Jesus or Muhammad. So continuous reading and meditating, and also having discourse like that will help us to understand. And these teachings, Baha'u'llah's teachings, are the sovereign remedy for every disease. And that is something we believe and we explore day by day. And we don't have, as an individual, I don't have all the answers. I don't think that there is anyone who has all the answers, but we believe Baha'u'llah has given all the necessary answers to all the challenges the world faces, and to apply them to the needs of their society. So this is critical instead of only talking about Baha'u'llah's teachings, we have to apply this in our society. So I contend, or I feel that having this interfaith forum is one way applying the needs of their society to have this dialogue. But we also have to have an interaction with the wider community and help them with the work that is needed in the society. They are committed to prosperity of all, recognizing the welfare of individuals rests in the welfare of the society at large. So this one is also very important, that I cannot promote myself and the poem that Colin read, the insisting self, is trying to satisfy the needs of the self or promoting its own well-being. But we had to realize that the welfare of individual rests in the welfare of the society at large. So serving the society is an important thing. They are loyal citizens who eschew partisanship and the contest for worldly power. This again is a key thing, that if we want to bring unity and peace in the world, so loyal citizens, we had to abide by the law of the country where we live, and we don't take part in partisan politics. We don't misunderstand this, saying that knowledge of the politics is, we should have what is happening in the world, what is the politics behind this, but we do not, if we are enkindled souls, we should not take part in partisan politics, supporting one party or the other, or and the contest for worldly power. Even in a small group, to a corporation and the government, there are many who actually want to hold the power. And to achieve that power, there are many undesirable actions are carried out. If we are devoid of worldly power, then we will have less of those corruptions. Instead of that, they are focused on transcending differences, harmonizing perspectives, and promoting the use of consultation for making decisions. And this is one of the important things that I find that we had to do this on a daily basis. We always see differences, and we sometimes highlight, personally in our life, we inadvertently sometimes we do that, but we have to transcend those differences and harmonize perspectives. And this we insist this in our meeting regularly, and I have this one which we always share this. This is again from the Universal House of Justice, 25th of November 2020. Whether through deeds or words, the merit of your very contribution to social well-being lies first in your resolute commitment to discover that precious point of unity where contrasting perspectives overlap and around which contending peoples can coalesce. So I remind myself that always try to find the common thing in different views, contrasting views, and the merit of our contribution lies in that, and that is emphasized here again. and promoting the use of consultation for making decisions. This consultation is, again, this was there in the past dispensation, in the past religions, but it is clearly articulated and emphasized by Baha'u'llah as one of the sovereign remedies. So for any situation, any problems, any plan, any program, even in personal endeavors, we are urged to consult to make decisions. And there is a journalist, American journalist by the name Amanda Ripley. She wrote a book called High Conflict, and she was independently looking for models and organizations where conflicts are resolved and how they are resolved, and she highly praises the Baha'i institution's way of making decision using consultation. They emphasize qualities and attitudes such as trustworthiness, cooperation, and forbearance that are building blocks of a stable social order. I think we all will agree that if we have these qualities, they are not the only qualities, but qualities like this: kindness, trustfulness, service. All these are building blocks for a stable social order. They champion rationality and science as essential for human progress. When the religion and science, many people think are at loggerheads or opposing each other, whereas Baha'u'llah's teaching clearly emphasizes they go hand in hand, and they are both necessary for the progress, human progress, both for spiritual and material progress. They advocate tolerance and understanding, and with the inherent oneness of humanity uppermost in their minds, they view everyone as a potential partner to collaborate. And this is the key, that anyone who loves unity and peace, whether they believe that it is going to happen or not, at least they should have this inherent oneness of humanity uppermost in our minds. If we have that or recall this time to time, then our actions and our outlook towards life, towards others, towards our neighbors will be slightly changing for good. They strive to foster fellow feeling even among groups who may traditionally have been hostile to one another. Anyway, I'll stop there. This is only one part of the paragraph. The second part, it will take much longer time. So if we want to discuss anything on this, we can discuss. Yes, Colin.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. I think that's a wonderful paragraph, and in the first line it talks about the processes, and then it talks about the various things we can aim for, which we are starting to see in communities, which can be personal plans, community plans, all these aspects, and every one of those points is visionary and inspiring. I think the word processes is interesting because in some religious beliefs, there's no process needed. You wait for an event, and then the event will happen, and suddenly there's peace on earth. Not only is it an event, but you don't have to change. As long as you have the right belief at that moment, then it's going to be a wonderful world. I think it's important. Certainly, it's happening so quickly in the world that it's almost like an event. You know, when the whole world changes in a matter of 100, 200, 300 years, it's like an event, but still it's a process. And all of these processes, instead of imagining that we're going to have a golden society, but we don't have to change, we can stay like individuals made of lead, the processes are turning us all into gold or diamonds, and that's where the golden society will come from.
Yes. Any other comments? Young, you have to unmute.
You know, the process in real life can be derailed. And we have a lot of experience how all the work and projects work, processes and systems are derailed. So we have to have like a backup support systems, because the program of getting everyone to be unified and become oneness is very difficult to attain. And when God give people the diversity or whatever notion, it means there's a reason why God give it to people. Because otherwise, God said unity, but then God also said diversity. And in a garden of flowers, we have so many flowers, different color. So it got to be like God-given things, and not what we want, but that's how God created universe. And then we just contradict ourselves, just keep saying unity and oneness. There's no oneness in a garden. Not many trees produce one sort of fruit, like apple. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I think it's the same thing that I have mentioned earlier. Yes, we were all created unique individuals. In that sense, there's a diversity. In the creation, we have human beings, and there are animals, plants, and all these things. And so there is a diversity of beings. And there are lifeless, and with life. And there are more in the universe which we don't know what is there. But then if we think about there is one source who created, and that we call it by different names, and we call God. And he has a purpose, and that purpose is one. And we are created in the image of God, in the likeness of God. It may appear that it is contradictory. When I see you and me, we look so much different. How can we be in the likeness of God or image of God? So if we deeply think about it, it is not the physical appearance that is the likeness. It is what is within us, the spirit or the soul, or that is the one that is in the likeness of God. And so when we look at that one, which we are much closer to be united. but there may be much more differences. I don't know what's the difference between soul and spirit. There are academics who can explain us, but there are, yes. So every creation, Baha'u'llah says, and also in other religions, it says that they manifest the signs of God. So when we look at them, there's so much of different, but there are signs of God in everyone. In that sense, they are there's a unity. Yeah, that's what I could respond to your comment. And then Colin and Pina, if you're there, if you had to comment, because time is going. And
yeah, I just wanted to reinforce something positive that Jung said, the importance of diversity and the necessity of diversity, because in the human body, we can't all be the heart, we can't all be the brain, we can't all be the hands. We need diversity, but we need unity as well, because if the bits of the body aren't working together, then we need unity. And the same with society. We can't all be teachers, we can't all be the Prime Minister, we can't all be technicians. But we do have to work together, have a unified moral code, legal system.
Sivalingam, Basanda, Rehani, Pina, James, any comments?
Well, it did mention that it is the sovereign remedy for every disease is the unity. It is a remedy. If a family are united, they prosper, they progress. Otherwise, it's the otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you. Shiva?
So why we need remedies anyway?
Pardon?
Please let me ask why we need remedy. If the world that God created is so wonderful, unity and oneness, and everybody follow the principles, so why we need remedies?
Somehow we get sick, so we need a remedy. When the world is sick, that means there is insecurity, there is war, there is fighting, there is unrest. That's why we need remedy.
So why is unrest?
People are...
We don't really
because we are
sick.
not united.
We don't really sick. We make other people sick. Okay, so you think about it. Just like, you have to play both sides, whether we make other people sick or they make us sick. But naturally, we're not sick because every baby were born, they're okay. I mean, unless the mother fed them with beer or a lot of drink before they were given birth. So then they were sick. So who make who sick?
The disease the world has, we have many problems. There are wars, there is discrimination, there is injustice, there is poverty, there are diseases. There you can list so many problems in the world, and they are called the diseases of the world. And who creates it? Yes, we, human being, creates. And the one important reason why we created the insisting self that Colin was talking about, and we refuse knowingly or unknowingly to follow the guidance given by God. That's why we have these problems. So all the messengers of God has come at different time to give the remedies for the problems at that time. So to solve the war problem or economic problems or environmental problems, discrimination or injustice or whatever you can think of, those are the diseases and there are remedies.
I think we talk about collaboration and cooperation. When a scientist, they develop something or they do the innovation of something, they're going to keep their patent secretly until the last minute. So if they want to, just like nuclear power, each nation will want to compete with the other nation. And if they want to press a button, they will target one country. And so what you're saying, people, they have the choice whether they keep the place or they destroy the place. So it's all in the people, intelligence. They're too intelligent for God now to control.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely right. So it is all in individuals' mind, how they think and act. That is the cause of the problem, yes. And sometimes the scale of it and the magnitude of this problem is escalated when it is done by a group of people or by a country, then or a collection of countries, then the degree of devastation is unimaginable, as we can see. Yes, you are right. Okay. If there is no other comments, we have option to close the meeting, or if you want, I can read the other part of the paragraph. Choice is yours. Would you like to comment, Rehani? Siva?
Not yet. Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. Okay then. So thank you very much, friends, and thank you, Rehani, to fill in with your 7 candles of unity, and also Colin with the poem of Roger White, the battle of the soul and the insisting self, and for everyone, and also James for joining us today, and Jung for your wonderful questions and comments and make this conversation a lively one. Thank you. And I am sincerely hoping one day you will give a presentation. Thank you.
That will be the job for Colin.
No.
Multi-scaling man, you see.
Yes. Okay then.
Scaling.
Thank you very much, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Mr. Foster.